Wahoo! Hello everybody, Jack Holleworth here, and welcome to Newcomer's First Game, a new series where I decide to take a look at a franchise that I had no previous experience with and give my quick little thoughts on the first game I decided to pick up and play. For today's pilot episode, we're going to be taking a look at Shantae for the Game Boy Color. For a while now I've been very vocal about my interest for her games on my Twitter after playing it, and while the vast majority of her fanbase have told newcomers that Pirate's Curse is the best place to start, I unfortunately didn't have much of a budget to pick that game up at the time, so instead I opted to boot up my slick Raspberry Pi and start my hair whipping belly dancing adventures with the first game that's even more out of my budget. Thank God for emulation, am I right? But with all that out of the way, 3, 2, 1, ret to go. The story of Shantae revolves around a gorgeous half-genie of the same name who is well known for guarding Scuttletown from all dangers that cross her path. But one day, when her arch-nemesis Risky Boots makes off with a steam engine from Mimic during her attack on the town, Shantae, who runs into a couple of friends along the way, finds herself in a race against time to retrieve 4 magical elemental stones before Risky can power up the steam engine and create an unstoppable weapon with them. The lovable cast of characters you'll meet consist of, but are not limited to, Mimic, Relic Hunter and Shantae's uncle, Bolo, the idiot with the heart of gold, Sky, warbird trainer and owner of a hatchery in Oasis Town, and Rottitops, a mischievous zombie girl who really seems to have a thing for Shantae, mostly her brain. Regarding the gameplay, Shantae plays a lot like a standard Metroidvania game and contains quite a couple of references and homages to games before it, like the game featuring a Simon's Quest-esque day and night cycle, where enemies take twice as many hits to defeat during the night. Heck, even the idea of exploring dungeons to find 4 stones kinda reminds me of Zelda a bit. Anyway, when it comes to Shantae's arsenal, her default attack involves her pulling a Willow Smith by whipping her hair back and forth. Shantae can also use gems attained from defeated enemies to purchase items such as life restoring potions and damaging items with various uses, as well as learn upgraded combat moves like this flash kick straight out of Street Fighter. To progress through the game, Shantae must seek out friends who will open up dungeons for her, all of which feel very well designed with some fun puzzles to overcome. Each dungeon also contains a genie that will teach Shantae a new dance. By using these dances, Shantae can transform into different animals by pressing select and inputting button combinations to the beats. These dances can also be used to reach new areas or find hidden items. Speaking of dances, I tried to unlock this Game Boy Advance exclusive Tinkerbat dance in Bandit Town, but I don't think my emulator can trick the game into thinking that it's running on a GBA. And from what I hear, this dance can't be attained in the 3DS version either, so that sucks. Collectible items include warp squids, which can be given to their mother squid in exchange for a dance to instantly warp to a town, fireflies which you can collect at night time, and heart holders which can be attained to increase Shantae's maximum health. You also have a couple of mini-games to play, such as dancing DDR style or gambling with geckos, which you can play to earn additional gems. There's also this race with Rottitops that you have to do so she can open up the 3rd dungeon for you. And let me tell you, with the amount of times I lost this race, this girl would have ate more than just my brain if I chose to give up. In terms of presentation, this is easily the most impressive Game Boy Color game I've ever played, both visually and musically. The soundtrack especially gets a strong thumbs up from me thanks to each track being composed by Jake Kaufman, a guy who really knew how to make the Game Boy Color sing and even ended up working on the soundtracks for every Shantae game after this. And don't even get me started on how detailed and beautiful the game looks for the system it's on. Every pixel of this game is pleasing to the eye and pushing the Game Boy Color to its limits. From the multiple scrolling layers each town has when you walk around it, to every single one of Shantae's animations. Never before has running, butt jiggling and belly dancing looked so fluid for such an old handheld. If there's anything I would really criticise aside from the Rotty Tops race, it's how the final battle with Risky Boots Tinker Tank is executed. She constantly hypes this thing up throughout the whole game like it really is an unstoppable weapon, and by the time you get to it, it's basically just a simple puzzle with no consequences for taking too long to solve it. This lackluster battle is more than made up for when you get to fight Risky Boots herself afterwards though. So in conclusion, Shantae for the Game Boy Color gets a solid 4.5 genie lamps out of 5. And honestly, with the recent unveiling of Shantae 5's opening, I may have found myself going on more adventures that I didn't expect to get wrapped into, and I may have even found myself netting a couple of hot waifus too. So until then, this is Jack Holleworth saying goodnight, take care, and can't a guy get some privacy over here?